You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking, you're always looking for and finding the good. That's the definition of a good-looking person. Always looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you have consciously and conscientiously tuned into the Joy of Living podcast with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy, the ambassador of joy. And you tuned in for one reason and one reason only. That's the best reason in the whole world, because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U. And that's great, by the way, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And that is the greatest aspect of life. And at this very moment, you are joined by over 380,000 people around the world who are tuning in every single week. And we are humbled and honored to say that you're telling your family and friends. So within the next couple of months, we'll be at over 500,000 people. And what I urge everybody to do is go to my website, barryshore.com, because you'll find everything about our amazing guest today. He's amazing. He's Santa. Yeah, that's right. We invited Santa, and it's not even December. It's just, I needed to share the joy of Santa with you right now because the world needs it, right? And I'm urging everybody to share this podcast and all of our podcasts with 5 people. Notice I didn't say 50 or 100, which is nice. You want to do that? It's great. 5 people. That's it. That way we'll touch over 1.5 million, 2 million people around the world. And urge your family and friends to join in because it's great. Because in this show, we discuss the 3 fundamentals of life. And these 3 fundamentals, when you follow them, will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. I guarantee it, or your money back. Now, the 3 principles of life, of course, are number 1, your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number 2 happens. And there's a good number 2. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for make a difference. You lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the 3rd fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. Right now, our show is carried over the internet around the world. If you ask anybody, what does WW stand for? Invariably, it has to do with the internet. Now, factually speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And what, of course, is a word, right? WHATA. What a wonderful world. And, of course, a tip of the hat and a big thank you to Satchmo, Louis Armstrong, for enabling that song to go viral, not just touch tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. And what do you do when you hear the opening bars of what a wonderful world? You can't help it. What do you do right away? You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you can ever learn, utilize, internalize, and leverage in your life, because SMILE is an acronym that stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. So I'll tell you a great story. I do a lot of in-person events. Recently I did one. We had 1,172 people. I'm telling you a story about Barry Shore and about seeing miracles. Some people raise their hand and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been out for hours where I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink? Do you have food to eat? Do you have family? Do you have friends? Do you have a place to sleep? All of those are a miracle. And what's the proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're listening or watching, you didn't. If we have an obligation to live life to the full, like John, Santa is going to share with us. So I urge everybody to listen to this quick story. It's about me. Imagine I'm standing up in the morning hale and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I am in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed from my neck down. And it was not because of an automobile accident. And it wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease which took over my body. In the morning, happy and healthy. In the evening, completely, totally paralyzed. I can only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was 2 years in a hospital bed. I couldn't move. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. I can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, you hear my voice. Positive, purple, so powerful and pleasant, all because of one word, smile. So I'll tell you quickly, though. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. And she says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile S-M-I-E-L? I thought about it. Smile, sounds the same. Why not? Ask her how come. She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. An 8-year-old, what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. It's the ability to rethink situations and shift your perspective. Now, my latest book that we published just the end of 2023 is entitled Oh Shift. And I've been working with people for more than 4.5 decades. And I can tell you 97.2% of all the people I began working with dropped the F in shift, and the other stuff happened. You got to be careful with your F's. Shift your perspective. And when you do that, now you can internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these words are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine the path of your life and the trajectory of your life. So before we bring on wonderful Santa, I'm going to warn everybody, I do use a lot of 4-letter words. And I even use the 4-letter FU word because of the shock value, and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, free, gift, play, pray, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. Fun. That's right. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, some people right away say, hey, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Not in our world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, and you see your family and friends, I want you to point your finger, twinkle in your eyes, smile on your face, tell everybody you meet, F-U, but add right away, capital N, and say, where'd you get that? So I listened to Barry Shore on the joy of living head on Santa, and he wants to teach the world to F-U. Capital N, capital N. You'll get their attention, and now you can begin to tell them all the wonderful things that we discussed here, because this show is not about Barry Shore, nice guy that he is, or Santa, fabulous fellow. It's about you. So before we bring on amazing Santa, I'm going to urge everybody, use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. It will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. And these 2 words are thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. Kind is a fabulous word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody at the moment that inspires more noble deeds than the amazing, wonderful, fabulous Santa.
Ho, 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 ho. Amazing. I love the positivity. And you know what? It's inspiring. And if you're not inspired, ladies and gentlemen, you're half asleep or you're still in bed.
Well, thank you. So just open your arms, Santa, and give them a big ho, ho, ho to 300 now, 89,726 people around the world. So
we need to get that higher, Barry. We need to. You people, you know, if you weren't listening when you started, you need to get this higher. You need to share this with your friends because we want to see this over 600,000. We want to see it over 1 million people, ladies and gentlemen, because caring is sharing. And this one will blow you away. My wife's famous cause right now is Santa's Cause. We don't promote Christmas in May. We don't promote Santa on networking. We promote Santa's Cause. Happiness, healthiness, positively sharing and caring about your fellow business or person.
You heard it direct from the fat man coming down the chimney.
Santa's cause is the most almost as powerful as your smile.
Woo! And remember, SMILE stands for seeing miracles in life every day.
And if
That's
you
who we
don't
are.
see a miracle today, you didn't try. Another one I like to say, you didn't step out of the gift box
Yeah, into the give box.
into the give box because you are the only one that's holding yourself back.
Well, wait a minute. That's the show right there. If there's something you want to share with your friends when you tell them to F you, you're the only one who's holding yourself back. It's
Isn't
wonderful.
that true? I mean,
Oh,
people
of
that
course, of
whine and
course.
complain are the only ones that are holding themselves back because nobody wants to listen to them whine and complain.
Well, we don't. The only wine we do is a little sip of some nice, sweet alcohol once in a while, just because it lightens the spirit. So, Santa, you have something called "Are You Santa Approved?" So we'll
Yes,
go
sir.
there in just a moment. But I just want to ask you, how did you recognize that you are the embodiment of Santa? When did this happen for you?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. Barry, it's pretty simple. When I met my new wife, she looked at me and she said, "You're Santa. You're not John," because this has been there for about 14 years. So I can't disguise it. I got to utilize it.
You hear
So,
that? By the way, that's a great line for everybody else, also. You can't disguise it. You have to utilize it.
well,
Everybody has that
you
something.
can use that with many different acronyms. Is it a smile? Is it a sadness? Is it an excuse? And we all know there's a lot of people that have more than their fair share of excuses.
We don't do excuses on here, Santa. You know that.
Yeah,
We if there are there as my eighth grade math teacher, Mr. Campbell, taught me, and it stuck with me for decades. There are many reasons for failure, but no excuse.
right. And,
Things happen.
and
Hey, that's all.
failure, and you know what failure means, right?
Yes, pick yourself up and get back in the game.
Absolutely. You got to try one more time, even harder the second time.
Thank you. So in Proverbs, which is a great book that everybody should avail themselves of looking at, I don't care what your religion is, your background, and such, but Proverbs is a remarkable collection of wisdom, and we want wisdom. Knowledge is one thing, wisdom is more. It goes deeper into the being. So this famous line comes from Proverbs. A righteous person falls 7 times and gets up. Didn't say he or she falls once in a while, stumbles, and that's it. 7 times for a righteous person and gets up. That is the genius of life. So, Santa, while we were talking just before the show, I want to give over 2 acronyms. One is a Santa acronym, and the other is who you are, which is joy. Joy is a great acronym that stands for Journey of You. Joy, journey of you. So you're on this journey. You are somebody who is calling out and urging people to become Santa approved. So what does that mean? Is that a good housekeeping seal of approval? Is that it's the Santa Papa John a seal of approval? What does it mean? Does it mean that you now become jolly?
Well, it's a combination of all those things. The simple fact is we need more happiness in this world. We need more sharing and we need more caring. And I think people want to deal with businesses that have a positive attitude, that has a positive outlook on life. They don't want to deal with the miserable and the cranky because that's turn the page, that's passe. They want to deal with someone that's happy and positive, that cares about their fellow man, woman, child, and they want to be positive. So I've come up with an amazing, unique little concept of being Santa approved. Are you Santa approved? Now, yes, we had to set up some criteria because we didn't want the, the guns and the ammunition and the drugs and the adult activity, but we wanted people to encourage positive activities to their fellow man, not just children and their toys, adults and their children's toys, and adults and their children. But what about being positive and happy to your fellow man and woman? That's what's the important part. Is let's get back the world where people cared amongst one another. They shared and they encouraged other people instead of going, ha, you're a loser. You can't do whatever you want. What do you mean you can't swim the length of the pool? Go do it twice. You know, but people need encouragement. People need to see more positive. And I've created a
So let me
wonderful.
let me share with you something. So two things. I'm going to share with you the acronym for SHARE.
Okay,
SHARE stands for spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy. S
amazing, powerful,
SHARE. Isn't that wonderful?
amazing, and powerful. But people love playing on words, and when it becomes a positive acronym, they love it even more.
So let me give you one. I just realized as you said it, we talked about the word jolly. So
Yeah,
jolly is JOLLY. Let's be realistic. We're going to raise the double L, raise it above, and now you have the letters JOY. So
yep,
jolly is joy. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Love life. When you love life, you are filled with joy. That's what jolly is.
That is
Joy, love
amazing.
life.
I love it. I
I
love it.
got it because of you, because of the vibration. This is
Well,
what we're doing.
Barry, it brings out the simple concept that people have too many excuses why they can't smile. It's been there for 14 years. I make people smile, and that's one of my catchphrases. And I love sharing it. Whether I get out of a car, I get out of a truck, I walk around the corner, I get into a meeting, people smile. And it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown.
By the way, I wanted to emphasize again what Santa just told you, and you have to listen to Santa. Doesn't matter your religion, listen to Santa. It takes fewer muscles to smile than it does to frown, which means that the creator of the universe endowed the human being with the intellect to understand, hello, you like to do things the easy way? Well, then smile. It's easier than frowning.
And it makes you feel good.
Oh my gosh. Not only does it make you feel good and the endorphins are released, but guess who else feels good when you smile?
The people around you.
Now, oh my God, it's like the best perfume in the world, isn't it, Santa?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if we started a smile campaign like someone we know that has cards that everybody shares, wouldn't it be cool if we could say we have 1 million people smiling at this moment, or 2 million, or 5 million? Better than saying we have 5 million grumpy people that are whining and complaining that their poor life. You know what? You are the only person that can change your poor, crappy attitude. And it starts getting out of bed, putting your feet on the ground, and saying, I am going to be positive and a happy person today.
So let
Full
me
of,
just
wait, full of joy.
joy. So on that particular note, I just want to share with John because he didn't know that when we talked yesterday before he came on the show, he didn't realize that I had been a quadriplegic. I'm still paralyzed from the waist down. It's great. Uh, so for me, laying in bed for years, not being able to move, my vision was to be able to sit up by myself and put my feet over the side of the bed. That took 2 years.
That
Now,
took
I
2 years.
finally did it, and I
But
was able
but
to
there you
enjoy
go.
it.
You never gave up.
Never,
Never
never,
give up.
never. And now
And you
today,
never complained.
no. Well,
And when you did, you complained to the pillow who didn't give a crap.
well, I wouldn't do it.
There you go. Because
It's-
happiness and joy is a mindset.
It's a mindset. And we're going to discuss the mindset, wonderful Santa. We have sponsors that love us, and we vet the sponsors. We wouldn't have them on. So I urge you to patronize the products or services. We're going to be right back with more Santa on the other side of this message. Don't go away. Good day, everybody. I have some great, wonderful news for you. Everybody knows that fasting is healthy. Fasting, healthy? That's right. However, it can be challenging. Not with Prolon. Prolon. Prolon is fasting with food. That's right. Fasting, and you get to eat food. It all starts with Prolon's 5-day program. You get snacks, soups, beverages, and it's all designed to activate your body's fasting state. It's like anything you've ever experienced. I must tell you, if I was going to start a nutrition program, Prolon is exactly what I would use. It's convenient. It's backed by Nobel-winning science, and it works. So right now, Prolon is offering the Joy of Living listeners 10% off their 5-day nutrition program. I urge everybody, go to prolonlife.com/Barry. That's PROLON life.com/Barry for this special offer. 10% off for listeners to the Joy of Living, because you like to live well, and using Prolon will help you live life well. So please go to prolonlife.com, PROLON life.com/Barry for the special offer. Do it now. You will thank me. I love it when you're healthy and happy and making a difference in the world. Best wishes. Bye now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. It's a being. He calls himself Santa, and he
Santa
is
Papa John.
He's
He's
Papa
in the
John.
house.
Yep, and he is the embodiment of joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. He's a vibrating machine. He's actually, he's a vibrator. Okay, and we're talking about that's the ultimate sex, is to have John around as your vibrator. And I'm going to tell you this acronym that I built for Santa. And Santa, for me, stands for SANTA, for those of you who don't know how to spell it. Successfully awakening, nurturing, transformative action. That's a mouthful. Now, why did I do that? Because you're the one who just taught us, John, that if you're going to do something, it's up to you. You need to successfully awaken in yourself a transformative outlook and do what is required of a winner. The essence of a winner, the definition of a winner is take action. Am I correct on that?
Absolutely.
So tell us some of the things about you. You have a resonant, wonderful voice, beautiful smile. You're certainly outgoing. Have you done things other than Santa in your life?
Well, I'm a professional truck driver. I've got 3 million miles in the big seat.
Okay, one moment. John, you didn't know this, and I'm telling everybody. I was invited to do a radio show a number of weeks in a row, and it was a show headquartered in New Orleans, specifically for truckers. And they had me on.
The connections are getting deeper, Barry.
Yeah, this one. I love truckers. I love trucking because trucking is truly the lifeblood moving through the United States of America and around the world, of course. However, in the United States, nothing happens without trucks. Everything from the small ones, the panel trucks, to the 18-wheelers. I mean, that stuff. You have 3 million miles in the bucket.
3 million miles. That's around the equator 120 times.
The other thing is, anybody who doesn't know the song, you got to look it up. It's one of the most famous songs by the Grateful Dead, one of the few that I really like, called Trucking. You got to hear it.
You got to hear it. It's absolutely amazing.
I mean, it really, they captured it, didn't they?
Absolutely. I thought you were going to go back and date us both by saying it was a Red Sovine song.
Okay, that also. I just happen to be that, the truck, but so, and truckers are amongst the most independent and yet community oriented people that you'll ever meet.
And dedicated.
Thank you. Dedicated.
Dedicated. We
Dedicated.
all need dedication in this world to climb the mountain that we are facing every day. And some mountains are bigger than others.
Well said, sir. Well said. So, in addition to trucking, so you were a professional trucker for decades.
Yes, sir.
And in the interim, did you do something else as well?
I've also been and still as a disc jockey for weddings and parties. And people used to ask me why I love being a DJ. And this is a quick story, Barry, but it is so honest. When a bride and groom come up to you at the end of the night and say, "Oh my goodness, this is the best day of our lives. You made all our dreams come true." Right here, right here. You know what I'm talking about. It hits a guy right here knowing that I've worked my buns off to give someone else their dream. Well, now I'm getting that same experience with Santa. There are so many adults and children that are sad that we need to lift their spirits up and give them some hope and some happiness to look forward to in this world.
So hope is a wondrous, important, powerful word.
It
And
sure is.
there's a great acronym for hope. It stands for helping others progress every day. HOP, helping others progress every day. Let's talk about the smile again, because it does touch me deeply. It is something, the campaign, the Keep Smiling campaign. I am humbled and honored to relate that we've been able to distribute a wonderful blue card that reads on the front, "Keep Smiling." And on the back is 5, 6, 7 sentences about the value of a smile. It's in 27 languages. And we're privileged to say that we've distributed more than 5 million cards around the world for free in the past 20 years. So the better news is that I began the project before I was a quadriplegic. And the reason I mention it is because as a quad, I became even more dedicated. I couldn't pick up a card and hand it out to anybody. However, I'll give you a quick anecdote. When I was in the hospital, 144 days, and we had the nurses, regular nurses. But however, my wife wanted to make sure that somebody was always with me in attendance, even because just relying on nurses, I couldn't even push the call button. I had to have special equipment. So we had somebody. And I always had Keep Smiling cards at wherever I was in the hospital. I happened to have, thank God, most of the time a private room, interestingly enough, just because it worked out. And my helper would pick me up and move me into a wheelchair because I couldn't move. I'm just protoplasm. Right. And wheel along the corridor. And I was in a special unit because people have real issues. And he would take cards and go into the rooms of these other people who had difficulties and issues and family visiting and give out cards. And I can tell you, you know this, John, what I'm about to say. The vibration on the entire floor it's the disc jockey in you. It raised that whole feeling, didn't it?
Absolutely. How to lift people up by doing the simplest of chores to encourage people to shift their mindset.
You got to be careful with that F. You got to keep that F in place, because if the F drops out, most other people will find the other stuff happening. You got to shift.
You got to shift it hard and go to the positive side and say your life and you're vibrant and you're not giving up and you're going to be positive and you're going to smile.
Woo! And then, by the way, that was a imperative from Santa himself. You will smile, and you will. By the way, first of all, listening to this again, sharing it with friends, you'll certainly smile. Everything you want to know about Santa, Papa John, is at my website, barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE, barryshore.com. Just go there, lean in, don't write anything down, just be here now, and you can research John at the website after the show and such. It's just so wonderful. I want to dig some deeper situations here. Let's talk about what you did about the wedding situation. I could actually visualize it. Let's talk about creating positive memories for others and oneself. Give us a pathway for creating positive memories.
Well, it one I can do with my Santa one, Barry, that you will absolutely love. You know, when you go into a room and there's all ages, and you've got great grandma right down to the little baby. Well, you go through and you talk to everybody and you do your spiel, but then I had great grandma on my knee. She was 91 years old. And of course, you ask her some questions and you get her giggling and laughing. And then I turned around and said to her, Barry, you're going to laugh. I said, okay, grandma, it's time to get serious now. And she said, okay, I'm ready, Santa. I said, okay, what did I bring you for your seventh Christmas? And she looked at me and she looked around at the room and she said, Santa, I don't remember what I had for supper yesterday. Never mind what you brought me for Christmas when I was 7 years old. And of course, the whole room erupted. But that's the story is when I go into a room, I don't forget about those seniors because without them, there is no story.
Okay, this is an amazing segue that you could not have known. So, one of my books, in addition to O Shift and Pocket Full of Acronyms, by the way, which are available for free, just go to my website, barryshore.com, and get one of the books for free as an ebook. It's not just informational, which they are. It's not just inspirational, which they are. They're transformational. So, in the best-selling book by the tens of thousands, the book is The Joy of Living. You deserve it. So it's about 11 strategies for learning how to live in joy daily, no matter the circumstances. So I write an entire chapter about one of my swimming buddies. Now, remember, I was a quadriplegic because of aquatic therapy in the pool. I learned how to move my body again. Thank God my upper body had been with devices I could swim. So I'm in a particular pool outdoors in Southern California. They called it the handicap lane, but we don't call it handicap. And I'm in this lane, and sharing the lane with me is this amazing woman. Her name is Aida. And Aida is walking. She's not swimming. So after a while, we stopped and talked, and because we're nice people, right? And Aida, when I met her, was 95. And with it, cogent, clear. And we talked. And we saw each other at least 2 or 3 times a week because she had her people bring her there and she could barely move. But in the water, you're a different person.
You're a different
And
person.
after a while, she said to me, Barry, I want to be like you. And I said, Aida, I love you. You don't want to be like me. You want to be you. So she laughed and said, I want to know how you do it. So we talked about some of the strategies. Her greatest strategy was get uncomfortable. Get out of your
Absolutely.
comfort zone. See, that's what I'm telling you. Get out of your comfort zone. And guess what happens? Now, when we're talking get out of your comfort zone, we're not saying put a pebble in your shoe and walk around all day. We're talking about brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand, walking out your front door instead of turning right, turn left, whatever it is. But you want to engage your mind. So why do I tell you the story? Specifically because I was privileged to sing Happy Birthday to Aida every year until her passing at the age of 106.
Wow. Incredible.
And at that 106 birthday greeting song, and I sat across from her, they let me in the house. It was during COVID. We sat a few
Wow.
feet apart.
Yeah.
When I walked in, she looks at me and she says, Barry, sing me a song. She was there. I sang the song, and the smile on this woman's face. So yes, without the people we call seniors, we don't have a world because
Absolutely.
they
But more
bring
importantly,
yes,
she did not give up. She
never.
was encouraged by you. You were encouraged by her, and she was encouraged by the people around her. So, ladies and gentlemen, that simple analogy and acronym is if you've got people with crappy, negative attitudes, kick them to the curb.
I didn't say it. Santa said it. So Santa, here's a great line. Ready? It's called Yaw. YAW. Yaw, which stands for you are who you associate with.
Is that
So
not a true statement?
that's it. That's why I'm telling you. And I learned it from a man who played on college ball for Ohio State, which is a famous school in America that has a great football team. And his coach taught him that. You are who you associate with. So listen to Santa. Negative people in any aspect of life, whether they complain, whether they just frown, it's not going to help you be the best you. So remember, this show, the joy of living, is not just about Santa, fabulous, amazing man that he is, or Barry Shore, great guy. It's about you. You becoming the best you, because when you're the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love. Doesn't matter where you live. You could be in the most difficult circumstances, and people are in difficult circumstances. Let's be blunt. You can shift, just a small shift in perspective. And guess what can happen? One step leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. And you keep doing that. And just like trucking, that next 50 miles, that next 60 miles, next 100 miles, you're trucking. You're making it happen.
Yeah. But you can't do it without taking the first step.
Woo! Everybody hear that? So when you're going to get up into that big truck, how many wheels did you drive?
18.
18. Okay. So anybody who even begins to think about what we're talking about, look, if you don't know, look it up. 18-wheeler is a massive piece of machinery.
But more importantly, this will blow a lot of people's minds.
Yes.
A normal car or a pickup truck is about 2,500 pounds. A big truck is around 80,000 pounds.
How many pounds in a ton?
2,000.
2,040 ton vehicle.
40 tons. And then you can get the ones that have even more wheels that can be more than that. But the average
but 40 tons hurtling along a highway at 60 to 80 miles an hour, that's a piece of machinery that is, first of all, once it gets going, it doesn't want to stop. And let's be blunt, much like in life, learning how to steer, learning how to brake, learning how to live with playing in the sandbox. Because you're in a highway, especially in the United States, you have lots of traffic all the time. So you can hog the road, you can be part of the road. You want to be the big dog in the most loving way. It's not an easy gig.
But you got to, more importantly, Barry, you got to share the road.
Ooh, remember what SHARE stands for? Spreading happiness and rejuvenating energy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So quick question.
Sharing is more than just me and you sharing a good time. It's more than you sharing time with your family. Sharing encompasses everything we do in this world. And if you want to be a greedy road hog or what other acronym you want to be, it's going to catch up to you sooner than you think. But
So
if you
let's
want to
talk about
share, people are going to embrace you and want to be with you and encourage your positive attitude by smiling.
Woo! The most beautiful aspect of the human being is your face.
Absolutely.
Face, I work with people on a regular basis. I ask them to look in the mirror. What does your face say about you? Does it say face, fresh, aware, creative, expressive? If it does, you can have a face. If it's involved with frowning and acrimony and complaining, then you're missing out on what's
Oh, wait,
happening.
wait. This is where we can put the boot to the rear end.
I
We
have
don't like those negative attitudes
we don't do
around us,
negative.
so they get
Right.
booted to the curb.
Fresh, aware, creative, expressive. I want to ask you because it's I've always been fascinated by it. I've never driven an 18-wheeler. That's a piece of that's big. That to handle that takes work. John, what does it mean to pull in to a rest stop? Let's say there's a rest stop then announced on the highway and it's in 4 miles. How long does it take to prepare to exit when you're driving one of those big things to get ready to mentally, physically maneuver that 18-wheeler to get off the freeway and then on into the truck rest stop?
Well, it all depends on how your fellow sharing vehicles are and how much room they're going to give you. Now, if you've got a bunch of non sharing guys beside you, you got to put your blinker on and hopefully they move out of the way for you. So it could be a mile, it could be 2 miles, it could be 3 miles. But if you're in the left lane for whatever reason and you need to get to the right lane so you can get on the off ramp, you need to start preparing sometimes 3 miles out. And then you start slowing down and using the Jake brake and the engine brake and trucks are set up, if you don't know because you've never been inside of a truck, they've got switches to help use the engine compression to slow the truck down through the transmission
Oh,
as well as the brakes.
first of all, I am happy to hear that. That is so cool and so interesting. Now we're at the point where again we love our sponsors and we wouldn't have them if we didn't love them, and we urge you to patronize them if you can. So we'll be right back with more Santa and joy and happiness, peace and love on the other side of this break. Don't go away. Be right back.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day. Beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe good-looking is always looking for and finding the good. Have we found good in abundance? We have Santa, who's talking to us about smile. He's the man who delivers everything: trucks, happiness, music, bright eyes, Santa approved in every aspect of life. This is the being you want to share this with at least 5 people. So we'll have more than 1.5 million people around the world. Go to barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE. Everything about John is going to be there. And you want to get involved. You want to find a way to utilize what John has in the way of making sure that Jolly, Jolly, which contains the word joy, Joy, journey of you, let love embrace joy. So that's the real jolly of life. So during the break, I was thinking about a word called awe, AWE, because I can tell you, Santa, I'm in awe at the moment. You bring forth the best. You're involved in real service, trucking, in real service, DJ, music, lifting spirits and such. So for me, awe is acquiring wisdom elevates. That's what you're
Wow.
doing. Acquiring wisdom, which is what you've acquired over the years, that elevates. So I want to talk to you about the Keep Smiling cards and the Keep Smiling movement, and share with you an idea, and then we'll come to a close for this session. So during COVID, when people were loath to associate with other people, unfortunately, uh, we shifted our perspective from handing out cards, which we still did for people who would, and to put them on a website. So if you go to barryshore.com, BARRYSHORE, at the top is a tab that reads Keep Smiling. So if you click on that, and you'll see some of the famous people in the world, very famous people who hold up the Keep Smiling card and such like that. But just because they're famous, you're more important. Trust me. So here's the gig for Santa and everybody he's associated with, because he touches tens and tens of thousands of people. Go in the tab that reads Keep Smiling, and now for free, my 4-letter F word, free, you click and you say, I'm going to send a Keep Smiling card. And you can send 5 at a time. Just put in people's email address, say, send the Keep Smiling card to 5 people.
Unbelievable. What a concept.
What a concept. And it's free, goes all over the world, wherever you want. Remember, they're in 27 languages, and there's some other uplifting cards and such. But I'm going to share with you, wonderful Santa, the idea. Let's say you were able to marshal your people. You had 10,000 people. Watch how we can shift the world. Ready? Santa says 10,000 people do this, won't cost you a penny, and it will take all of maybe 2.5 minutes. And on Monday and on Thursday, I'd like you to do this. Why Monday and Thursday? Because Monday's Monday, and Thursday's the beginning of the weekend. So 10,000 people sending out just 5 cards, not 10, 20, 30, 50. You want to do that? That's great also. 5 cards. Watch this. That's 50,000 cards on Monday. And on Thursday, do the same thing. 5 different people. There'd be 50,000 cards on Thursday, right? Remember, all electronic, all wonderful. People get them and say, wow, that's so cool. You thought of me. Okay, keep it going. That would be 100,000 cards a week.
A week.
A week. In 10 weeks, 10 times 100,000 is 1 million. You'd be sending 1 million Keep Smiling cards in 10 weeks. And now watch what happens. Out of those million, I'm sure there's going to be a number of thousand. Let's even say it's only 20,000 people who say, well, this is cool. I can do this. And now 20,000 people are sending out, in addition to your 10, and you've recruited more, 20,000 people, 5 cards on a Monday, 5 on a Thursday. That's 100,000. That's 200,000 in a week. In 5 weeks is another million. By the time we got to the end of the year, we've touched 20 million people.
Woo! 20 million people can get the smile card that, could be as simple as opening the door for some people to change their attitude for the day, the week, the month, whatever the case may be.
And by
And
the way,
that's what I do with this, Barry.
I
I
love
come
what
on your meeting and I make people smile. It
I
might
love
only
what you
take
just said, John. This is fabulous, because you just said something I didn't realize. This is so beautiful, genius. So we send out these million cards, 2 million cards, 20 million, and they're now on somebody's phone, and they can look at that Keep Smiling card whenever they want.
absolutely.
And they can even say to somebody else, hey, look at this.
But it's the simple things that we do as positive people to influence the negative nannies.
That's why, John, I'm so humbled and honored that you're here today.
Well,
'Cause
I'm
thi-
very
this is
blessed to be here. You are an incredible man with an incredible story, but more importantly, your incredible story to make people smile.
smile. We love it
Ladies,
when you smile.
and if you've been listening to this, folks, you need to share it with 10 friends, because Barry's almost at 400,000. We want this by the end of June. That's 5 weeks. We want to see 1 million people listening to this. We want to
Hey.
see 1 million a week listening to this by the end of June. That's Santa's order. He's going to get the sleigh out, and Mrs. Claus is going to get the cookies out, and we're going to say to the people, share it to 10 people, 5 people, whoever. They need to listen to this message, because the negative nannies need to be pushed out to the shore so we can smile more.
Don't you love Santa? And everybody who's listening, we got people all over the world. We got people in communist China. I'm calling it out. We have people, thank God, in free Taiwan and in Korea, throughout in Pakistan, India, and throughout Latin America, throughout Europe and United States. Everybody is hearing you, John. Everybody loves Santa. Again, it's not religion. We're talking about the essence of the human condition. The essence of you as a human is to give willingly and graciously receive. Now, I'm almost loath to say these words. I am loath to say these words, my dear beloved Santa. For this one, we're at closing in our time. So I have 3 questions for you.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, will you come back again?
Absolutely.
Shh. Thank
You notice the hesitation?
Number 2, wonderful Santa, you have only 80 seconds to answer this question. What is your most fervent desire?
Ooh, interesting. To create a happier world where people go back to common sense of loving, caring, and sharing for their fellow man, and never mind the negative stuff. Think positive. People want to deal, people want to live, people want to work with positive people.
Like that P word, baby.
Absolutely.
Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. The 4 P's of life. Okay. And number 3, Santa, may I give you a hug in front of 392,819 people around the world?
Absolutely. And I'll give you one back.
Okay, one second. Let me tell you what HUG stands for. You ready? Heartfelt, unlimited giving.
Absolutely.
That's
And
a hug.
when I'm on TikTok and the kids say, "Can I get a hug?" we call it an air hug. So Barry, here is a big
Okay,
air
here we
hug.
go. Remember,
Big air
heartfelt,
hug.
heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1, 2, 3.
Big hug. Awesome.
And this is Santa and Barry. Remember, this is the joy of living. You deserve it. And you tuned in for one reason only, because you care the most in the entire world about you. And that's great, because when you are the best you make the world a better place. You're positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. We work with the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1, life. Your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life. You go mad. Mad stands for make a difference, just like Santa makes a difference in the world every single day. And the 3rd is unlock and uncover the power of everyday words and terms like WWW, what a wonderful world. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day, as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking, is what Santa said, enabling all to excel. Remember, you want to create that shift in perspective. Keep that F in place so the other stuff happens. And then you'll be able to internalize the 6 most important words in your life, which are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine your pathway and your trajectory. Use 4-letter words. Now, of course, the 4-letter words, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, power, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, free, give, play, pray, swim, and tell the world that Barry Shore says, F you, capital N, capital N. Have a lot of fun in life. And when you do that, you tell your family and friends, F you, capital N, capital N. We're talking about. So I was listening to Santa. Santa was trying to be naughty and nice. He said, F you, capital N, because he loves to smile. And then remember to use the two most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. You'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. We guarantee it. These 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you, to harmonize and nurture kindness. So a blessing from Santa and Barry. And it is, go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. John, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.